and the law written in our nature. We call an individual into existence, and when that individual comes, I make no apologies for what I'm about to say.
Rough, rugged, and real, you're on standstill to obey your case, so let the man build. Words of rapture that you have to capture, and I just slapped ya with a handful of literature. This dope, deaf, fresh, hype, choice, smooth, and raw. Rappers I replace, rub out, and erase. Competition, you must be on freebase, smoking or joking, bound to be broken. Now get your damn hands off the mic that I'm choking. Cause I got a stranglehold. You're still cold on parole for the role you stole. Rhymes that you yell out, but you did sell out. Crossed over, lost over here, now get the hell out. I'm not a pop star, rock and roller, I'm a rebel, blessed, able to hold a mic like a hammer, and drop grammar, treat a rapper like a wrestler, and body slam them. Those who dispute get treated just like a prostitute. They get the boot and played like a flute, so just play mute. Don't even whisper, open your mouth to speak, and I'ma dish your ragtag and dog. Put you in the morgue because you're petty, confetti, and not ready to rock steady. In other words, you're half-stepping, tiptoeing, get going, because my weapon is not a 9, a Uzi, or a shotgun. But when it come to hype rhymes, I got one, just like the album is still the same. Long live the cane, ain't a damn thing changed. I still get ill and kill at will and build the skill to fill your grill, so don't tell me you're real. We sample beats, you sue and try to fight us. Man, you still be home with arthritis. If we didn't revive and bring back alive old beats that we appreciated, you wouldn't survive. You'd be another memory to us. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. So understand the way that I live, that's positive. And the message I got to give is a benefit for you and me. I'm talking about P-E-A-C-E. The chosen one that has turned the new leaf. I got gold teeth and they don't chew beef. No pork on my fork, strictly fish on my dish. The cane fallen victim, sucker you wish. I flow like water, slaughter, put you out of order. Floored ya. Rappers are ragging and tagging and snagging and bragging to be on the bandwagon, but I'm the last dragon with the knack to attract the pack, so just get back. I'm young, gifted, and black.
Any kind of dilly-dallying, that's the government. Any kind of pussyfooting, that's the government. Any kind of act that's designed to delay or deprive you and me right now of getting full rights, that's the government that's responsible.
Good evening to everybody. Once again, we want to welcome you to another session of Black Poet Matters. And Black Poet Matters is a celebration and showcase of the Black poetic voice from poets of the African Diaspora who are conscious and brilliant. It is also a celebration of Black music where our souls meet song, sound, and rhythms. And on this platform, you will listen to Black poets dishing the truth of their matters, creating a poetic soundtrack for the times. Thank you all for joining us this evening, wherever you are. Big up to everybody that's out there watching us on Facebook, everybody out there on YouTube and Instagram. So make sure you like the page on Facebook for Bassment Entertainment. Also subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and also follow us on Instagram. So once again, we have another great episode lined up ready for you. The poets are ready. They're ready to go. Once again, this is Black Poet Matters, the monthly virtual poetry event put on by Bassment Entertainment, as well as Universal Enterprises. So once again, you can check us here every month. So once again, we want to thank you all for tuning in and joining us this evening. And do remember that this month is National Poetry Month. So we're right in line right about now, getting our poetry session in, during Poetry Month. And also, we are celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Black Poet Matters Poetic Anthology for the Times. So you'll see the many poets that will be performing this evening. They'll be promoting that book. And that's a book that we put out last year, but it's still available for sale. You can get that on Lulu. We'll post the links out there for everybody in the chat. So once again, you just get that book. And once again, it's the 1-year anniversary of the book. So once again, the Black Poet Matters is a collection of poets. We have many poets that perform on this virtual venue every month. And, many of the poets that have been performing, we came together and put together an anthology last year. And all of the poets that you'll be hearing this evening will actually be poets who have writings in the Black Poet Matters Poetic Anthology for the Times. So they'll be performing some of the pieces that they put within that book, as well as some new pieces as well. So once again, just sit back and relax, share the videos, share the page, share the channel, share and let everybody know that Black Poet Matters is here. So once again, thanking you all for joining us this evening. So right now we're going to get right into it, and we're going to start off with our first poet for the evening. He goes by the name of Lavan Robinson. Levan is a poet and writer from Philadelphia who now resides in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He is a 13-year veteran of the military and has a 34-year-old son. Levan has been writing for over 40 years and currently has 3 books of poetry on Amazon and Kindle books, and he loves poetry because it chose him. I want to welcome Lavan Robinson.
So you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
Let us begin. What, where, why, or when will all be explained like instructions to a game. See, I'm not insane. In fact, I'm kind of rational. When I be asking you who is more dramatic, this one or that one, the white one or the black one. Black the punk and I'll jump up to attack one. Terrorist one is just a gotta lead a crew. Right up to your face and diss you. Everyone saw me on the last album cover, holding a pistol, something far from a lover. Beside my brother, S-C-O-T-T. I just laugh, cause no one can defeat me.
Good afternoon, everyone. My poem is called Existence Beginning and Existence End. The political leaders and the process of democracy haven't lived up to its numerous ideological beliefs, goals, and promises. The racial divide among them and us is caused by the eternal hatred that today still widely is practiced, and among the other twisted concepts coexist. Within a hood or ghetto with a representation of a certain party we tend to fully embrace and empower seems to work hard against us by career politicians as many individuals' dreams, hopes, and aspirations to clearly diminish their path to create equal opportunities for them to reach them just devours. There was once pride that lived within us, our essence, neighborhood, and livelihood of those who called it our home proudly. Through cunning deployment of the development of a most evil and powerful nature of destruction, has all but left a hood or ghetto in tiny remnants of nothing. In it, they pick at the heart and soul of the constituents they themselves claim to want to succeed. That hasn't happened, and it won't, thanks to the hands in a cookie jar and they themselves being filled with selflessness and raw greed. Millions and millions of dollars funneled into it was meant to beautify and instantly renew with the abundance of hopes into the future for the better. Once they received the power that to them that was given, once they passed the initiation, they're now part of the whole totally raw system and group called birds of a feather flock still and destroy dreams together. We keep voting the same type of individuals who only when they want our vote make all types and kinds of very elaborate speeches claiming that they will be so different and deliver what they tell us we deserve. What the fuck? Boy, do they got some nerves. As you can plainly see, as a blind man can, nothing has changed and it falls into the clinical definition of being the same. Lives are at stake, for this is no damn Parker Brothers board game. The way they who time after time we entrusted our precious lives and livelihood with should be put to shame. The uptick and steady rise in the perpetration of Black on Black crime is a detrimental factor to our race and a terrible reality we, as one nation, have to heed, recognize, and boldly face. For what has happened to this generation, as well as others that we forgot somewhere along the way, that many sacrifices our ancestors for our sacrifice and survival selflessly made, and that we are brothers and sisters from the divine earth being our mother. We must dig deep within the thickness and layers of hatred that has amassed and love once again. This is how it was in existence beginning, and it shall be true once again at existence end. I got another, okay, let me do a short one. Something is inspiration. This is called, something amazingly better, because I know a lot of people be going through hell, and sometimes I know that it's amazingly better. I know that it's hard to work through the pain that you might have to experience, suffer, and endure. For heartbreak and dealing with a sudden loss, I don't think that there's really a quick remedy or cure. Within time for its healing process to relieve some of the hurt, but it takes some of the qualities and it will work out just fine. You'll be in the long run much more appreciative of the journey to your present enlightenment and self-abundance of happiness. Memories of what could have been will often bring about shedding a tear. The emotional nature will overcome your being, but your soul will grow to be better prepared and so much more for what God truly, amazingly better for you He has in store. In peace. Thank you again. It's been a blessing to be among such other great poetess and poets. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Brother Levan. Peace.
Thank you.
Yes. Just getting started right now. So next up, we have Eyes Awake, also known as Patricia Deway. And she's known as an empath with pedantic ways. She was born in the volcanic Emerald Isle of Montserrat in 1976 to her late parents, a Montserratian mother and Antiguan father. And after completing secondary school in Montserrat in 1993, Patricia moved to Antigua for college, then to London in 1998 for university. And having traveled extensively for work and pleasure, it was while in Canada during the initial wave of COVID-19, she went into introspection. She was being thankful for her life journey as she browsed through her poems written over a 20-plus year span about her personal struggles. It was there she decided to share her secretly guarded poetic memoirs to the world through her new book entitled Shunned, How Love of Self Became My Redemption, which was released in August 2020 and available on all Amazon Marketplace as paperback and Kindle. Now, Patricia also uses her YouTube channel called Eyes Awake Matters as a means of conveying her messages of enlightenment and self-love. So once again, going to introduce to you, and she's actually in the UK right now, so she's technically not with us, but she sent us this video. And once again, she's part of that anthology, Black Poet Matters, the poetic anthology for the time. She's in that book as well as everybody that you're hearing perform tonight. So once again, I want to welcome you all to Eyes Awake.
All right. Okay. I hope y'all ready, ladies. Y'all ready? Wait a minute. Let's go. I'ma break it in. And I'ma take my time with it to make it last real long. We've been down a while. You make it feel like home. Up early in the morning when you cook. A pot of grits thick is how you look. And you know just what it is. Okay, girl, come over here. And I'll be ready, baby. Don't make me wait too long. So long. And you know what time it is.
Hi, I'm Patricia Deway, Eyes Awake Poet. My poem tonight is called I Am My Valentine. A connection so deep, a mind of its own, a passion silently ablaze, ready to alight its host with truth of life and power. Our eyes connect, our heartbeat sings. As I listen to the beautiful thoughts, a pleasurable aroma exudes like a gourmet delight. Ooh, the sensation. The synergy beautifully aligns, living our dream on a beat that rhymes. Life experiences, the detours and all, has guided me well. And the powers that being have prepped me for this special day, to know the truth of the I am in me, the life and love I've been chosen to be. My approval is love. My assurance is me. My soul is anchored. My heart indulged in directing those thoughts. I am my first love, my last and lasting love, yet strong enough to love you and wise enough to receive your love too. I am my Valentine. Thank you for having me. Black Poet Matters.
Now, next up is someone we have not heard from in a while, but he's definitely part of this collective, and you can definitely find his writings in the anthology. He goes by the name of Burnett Coburn. He writes what he likes. Burnett Coburn is a past student of Oberlin High School and Edna Manley College of the Visual Performing Arts in Jamaica. His first attempt at publishing was at age 11 when he submitted his first novel to a New York publisher. It was returned about 6 months later with a note to make another submission at a later date. Since then, he has harbored dreams of one day returning to his calling. Sorbet and Sweet Potato Pudding is his first hesitant step in that direction. Burnett lives in New York City, where he runs a boutique wood flooring business. Everyone, give a warm welcome to Burnett Coburn.
America is essentially a dream. It is a dream of a land where men of all races, of all nationalities, and of all creeds can live together as brothers.
I wish I could live in a fantasy world where everything is just make believe, where nothing is wrong, in the words of my song, your love.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. Thank you for tuning in to another, should I say, episode, another evening of great poetry and lovely conversations with brothers and sisters from Black Poet Matters. This evening, we'll be reading from our anthology. This is actually the first year of publication of our book called Black Poet Matters, a Poetic Anthology for the Times. And this can be gotten on Lulu, actually lulu.com. So again, thank you for tuning in. Tell your friends to join us. And we are going to make this an evening that you remember for a long time. So since we're talking, I'm just going to start out by reading a poem from Black Poet Matters, a Poetic Anthology for the Times. And this one is called Talking. You know, we all love to talk, and the more we talk is the more we get to know each other. But sometimes talk without action is useless. And what we're trying to do is fuse talking with action, right? So this poem entitled Talking says, You are talking and talking and talking and talking about poems, about protest, about sit-ins and pray-ins and march-ins and demonstratings, and I am bawling and bawling and bawling about blood gushing and bones broke in and windpipes crushed in and shit and piss and pus and body fluids leaking into gutters, racing to the sea. And I'm in pain. I'm hurting and crying and hurting and crying and crying. And you are laughing, and my children are dying. My sons and my daughters, what have you done to deserve this? America, the voice of your brothers and sisters' blood is crying to you from the fields and from city streets too. And you are not listening? Why? And yet you keep on talking and talking and talking, and I am in pain. That, brothers and sisters, is talking. The next poem is entitled Our Sweet Tooth. You know, that one touched me so much, man, I had to pause to catch my breath. So now this is called Our Sweet Tooth. I, fortunately or unfortunately, have a sweet tooth. And you know, too much sugar gives you all kind of ailments, not good for you. So this one, Our Sweet Tooth, might end up being Our Bitter Tooth. And I'll start with Our Sweet Tooth. A bleeding square, forces squared off in military formation. This is no place for children, yet she is here, a witness. Blood-covered stones not yet removed testify to Earth's protruding bones, laying bare, stare at nothing. I have been there, seen the scenes of savagery, body fluids as paint drained, splattered carelessly. Inhumanity is a soft word. It misses cruelty by miles. It has no guns, no bombs, no barbed wire fences, no flaws, no jealousy, no hatred, no selfishness. Just stupidity and greed, bloodletting and blood sport in abundance. Our sweet tooth is rotten. It hurts. Our sweet tooth is rotten. It hurts. And as we continue this evening with poems from Black Poet Matters, a poetic anthology, you know, we can't leave it all in sadness and pain and hurt. So we have to put a little bit of love in there. This one is called Electricity in an Elevator. And I hope you hear how it came about. I won't tell you, but you might be able to deduce it when you listen to this poem. Again, it's called Electricity in an Elevator. I wish to tame the electricity that's crackling between us. Make it a servant of our cause. Open the switches of possibilities, rearrange atoms and molecules at ease to free chastened prisoners of passion and reform them at will. Desire, our shared burden, is a solid wall of innocence, depriving us of inner peace, waging guerrilla warfare with ferocity, robbing us of comfort and sleep. Last night, you disturbed my dreams. With elegance and sophistication, you embarked on your mission of conquest. I was mesmerized by your overtures executed with the practiced skill of rituals. Today, you reordered my morning into heartfelt submission, full of possibilities. I would like to hold you in my arms, slowly quiet the ferocity of your heartbeats, count the minutes between the beats of mine, while synchronizing them with the universes. The elevator lifting me to you disobeyed my initial command. Electronic pulses exploded to impel it upwards. We both pressed the down buttons, but I was compelled to rise to meet you. Before we could take our earthbound journey and walk together hand in hand. Beating hearts, heaving chests, peaks at partially covered peaks reveal real-time mounds of cosmic joy. Somehow, we were magnetized by the moments of downward mobility, sealing our fates forever, planting us on the ground floor of shared possibilities. I hope you're thinking about me at this moment. I hope you're thinking about me. At this moment, my heart is at war with itself. But will I tell you how I feel when I see you tonight? I hope I have the courage to do so, but I doubt if I ever will. That, brothers and sisters, is just a taste of what's in the Black Poet Matters, a Poetic Anthology. This is a beautiful book, and again, it's available from lulu.com. You've got to pick up your copy. And that, brothers and sisters, is my offering for this evening. I hope you enjoy this brief set and you stay tuned for the rest of the poets in this wonderful evening of poetry and love. Walk good.
Yes. Thank you for that wonderful performance, Brother Burnett. Now, next up, we have Ekanji Musa, who is a mother and poet. She works avidly in the community, assisting with resources, skills, and employment. She started putting her matters to paper over 25 years ago and watched her writing grow. Like blooms in pen. In 2010, Econzi was a featured artist in Rhythm and Rhymes in Fresno, California. She was also born in Fresno, California, and she is a longtime resident of Oakland, California. After an extensive break, she is returning to the scene without apology. And now we present to you Ekanji Musa.
Like a walking razor, don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. Said I'm dangerous. I'm like a walking razor, don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. Dangerous. If you are a bully, treat me good. If you are a bully.
Good evening, blessings. It's an awesome time for us. Congratulations to all of the poets that contributed to our book last year. Hallelujah, it's been a year. Make sure you check it out if you have not. You can pick it up on Lulu. It's again, the Black Poet Matters Anthology. So tonight, I will be doing one of the poems from that book. It's entitled Ring Their Bell. Continuing to turn our cheeks has brought us to this point where Black lives are nonchalantly taken and we raise our fists with a weak joint. Any obstacle we have endured and conquered required a stance the common folk did not accept. The pain was obvious, but the compassion had no recept. After all that we've been through, until this day we fight. What self-appointed MF got the right to tell us what judgment is wrong or right? Considering the details of police brutality, systematic injustice, and attacks against Black people, what equal, just resolve would fit? The volcano has been stirred far too long. The wicked will become an ember being tossed by tongue. Burn down this wicked system. Return back to them the fear. It's time to ring their bell, since our words they refuse to hear. Thank you. This next piece is entitled, Please Forgive. This is our holy season. Kaksamyak to all my family. The Feast of Unleavened Bread season. And so been doing a lot of reflection, and I'm glad that this was one of the pieces that was also within the book, because it's also a part of my meditation in this season. Please forgive. As my eyes finally opened to your truth, the shame came pouring down like rocks on a tin roof or tooth. You alone brought us out of bondage and set us in a high place. Then your children put other gods in your space. Please forgive our iniquities from then until now. Bless us in future generations to solely acknowledge your crown. Oh, Yah, our Elohim, the time is now. For what we've done, Yah, I know we aren't worthy. But your mercy and your love ever returns us back to thee. Praise the Most High for covenants with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, being our saving grace, causing Israel to wake up. In your commandments we are whole. Without them we are lost. May we ever surrender to your will, lest we pay the full cost. On bended knee we give thanks and praise that you choose to forgive. Guided under your laws, we will truly live. Torah. So for this final piece, it's entitled Perfect Effort. And the song that I'm going to sing before it, I did not write. It's something that I heard 25 years ago, but, on a mixtape or something like that. But it stayed in my heart, and it connected with this poem. It's about being pure and clean. And I'm not talking about being sin-free, because none of us are perfect that way, but pure and clean as in not mixing with things, being separate, because we are a separate people. Our way, our heart, our nature, it's separate. It's very distinct from all over the earth. Wherever you find us, we are a distinct people. So just reflecting on that. What kind of world is this? You can't trust your brother, nor friend, nor sis. You reap what you sow, they say, but more the time darkness just comes your way. Don't believe the hype when people come around, it's pure spite. They will build you up. The higher that they do, the harder the fall. But y'all live forever in the hearts of the pure and clean. Y'all live forever in the hearts of the pure and clean. Seen perfect effort. It's impossible to be perfect as a human being. But tell me, is perfect effort a path worth seeking? Yah says obedience is better than sacrifice, not leaning into our own understanding and running away from sound advice. Just as an obedient child is known for following the rules, it shows in his character the ability to use his mental and ethical tools. His or her character is noted by those who lead them to this. Though the child isn't perfect, the effort surely is. For just a moment, consider this thought. When on a path to a destination, we stick to the directions that we're taught. Ain't no way I want to purposely drive 30 miles in the wrong direction. But if it happens, I'd have to backtrack for redirection. So when we consistently break Yah's laws, it's equated to spinning donuts near signs that say, caution, frequent rock slides. To risk breaking law is to risk your very life. My people, be wise. Make it your goal to maintain an obedient heart. Seek the Most High's guidance, and with all of your might, do not depart. It's not about being perfect, but ever giving a perfect effort. Return to his path when you've driven yourself into a vast desert. Psalms 119, 59 through 60 is a reminder to us, Israel. When we're off track, make haste to keep his commandments, or we're destined to fail. This goes for your love, work, family, friends, and all aspects of your life. Yah wants us to stay on the path of doing what's right. Bavakusha, please, Most High, help us to stay on track with you in all that we think, say, and do. Thank you so much. It's been a blessing. Y'all have a wonderful night. Much love.
Love, Queen, peace. Thank you.
Yeah, y'all. Give it up for Ekanji Musa once again. And once again, we thank you all for joining us this evening. And we have come to the close of the first half of our program. We have another half coming up with more poets who will be touching this virtual stage. But as we do with all of our shows every month, we end off the first half with a musical tribute for all of you. So once again, just sit back and relax and enjoy the music, and we will return. But in the meantime, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram. That's Bassment Entertainment for those platforms. So once again, thanking you all, and continue to keep a lock and stay tuned.
It's all about you. LA's fine and sunshine most of the time, and the feeling is laid back. Palm tree road, rent so low, don't you know? But I keep working my way back. But I'm a Jamaican boy who's born and raised. Nowadays I'm lost between two shores. LA's fine, but it ain't home. New York is home, but it ain't mine no more. I am myself to no one there, and no one heard at all, not even the chair. I say,
when I see my friends become my enemy, I escape far. No link, no bar. Cause I know dirty I can't sweep with broom. They are like the trees we can't bloom, and they shall slowly fade.
mean, enough of them now go like that tune ya. Why? Bad man stuck in a them head like a tumor. Them fake like tree stripe, pan a night made by Puma. Them temple lip a lies, paddle lip a rumor. Start go you not if them a say you work a count. Get your visa, you fly out, them a pray for you drop out them. Sit down a calculate by in and you account them. Say them are your friend, but them heart mama out for me say.
Well, dirty heart can't sweep with broom.
Good and never.
They are like the trees we can't bloom.
Good and never.
They shall surely fade away. And I know dirty heart can't wash with soap. And there is no bad mind antidote. They shall slowly fade away. Then we go along with them.
And the weak, and don't despise the poor. Respect yourself for sure. And shall we open all the doors and you will take a score. And the weak, and don't despise the poor. Respect yourself for sure. And shall we open all the doors. Always remember to be faithful. When God bless you in that life, you be grateful. And never diss the man will make you playful. But this loyalty are ungrateful. Get so you may tell you to be careful. Anytime you give, just give cheerful. Babylon no love you see your able. Some me burn the werewolf. And the weak. And don't despise the poor.
Don't make them
respect yourself for sure. And shall be laughing on the doors. And you will take the storm. And the weak.
Don't turn one of you.
No time rough like Greta. Plus your mama don't want me. But please me, I beg you, don't make them come mess up your body. And you dirty man, you dirty man. Leave the people picking them alone. You dirty man. Leave the people picking them alone. It's a disgrace, man. You're just a waste man, yeah. Hey, mommy, you feel listen to your daughter when she tell you she no happy. You see the signs and turn a blind eye. Me, I beg you to stop it. That man when you have a come take you when you left him still at home. You left your young girl all alone. Not take your daughter, say hello to you, dirty man. You dirty man. Leave the people picking them alone. You dirty man. You know it's wrong. Leave the people picking them alone. It's a disgrace.
Made it, steady. So Mr. Speaker, yeah. Oh, yeah. Whatever you say now, there is no way out. Holding against you. This situation destined to play out the way that it's meant to. Remember, the words can be lethal weapons, and a statement is a lifetime sentence. If you speak love whenever you need someone to connect to, when you need someone, you say you speak love. Whoa, whoa. It's a healing song, you say you speak love. Whoa, yeah. You need to keep it alive every time when we come around. The drama be done. Yeah, don't make it divide and try, but we go live up, nobody go. Warming it up, come over to your bone, chalice fit down malice. And young flabbies go gun, cause it got some savvy. A pro damage with no daddy, and the whole body. We don't malice tomorrow, and we sleep home.
There's a place, there's a time for us to look within. Cause I know love will smile again.
brother man a shoulder. And stop the fighting so early in the morning. Man a be off them a what's up? We no want that yes so. Too much life I go up in a smoke like a tobacco. Innocent you frazzle with the bullet from your nostril. Them you can no heart me if you wonder it's a puzzle. Dance in the blood and then I blame it on the struggle. And I tell me why you do it because no food on the sea bubble. Before you unite and take yourself from trouble, a crime you go hard up on the double. Put on the Mach 11, yeah, 357, yeah. Nobody take no more innocent life. Zip out the magazine, that's where the pebble. Don't live a life of miserable. Racism should be over. We don't learn. The generation getting colder. No, we don't learn. Keep your brother all day.
No, we don't learn. But we always gotta take the hard way. No, we don't learn.
Alright, times get tough again. Bread down no butter then. No, this mean all handgun and long rifle a go for them. The streets have no governing. It's a free for all, can't get peace at all. Soul a fly well like a Peter Paul. See it's all clear and evident. Caused by the decadence. CIA intelligence, now Netflix have the evidence. And man a shoot pastor in a church. Man a shoot father in picnic school. Some different man a set the rules. Hey, matter of fact, no one sing about them thing ya. When man can't even manage, put them garbage in a bin ya. Food box out a car window. I clog up the drain. Then when the flooding start, the government them get the blame. My brothers, it is a shame. More time we feel embarrassed to be part of this generation, causing all these havoc. Man, I want that a man wouldn't even care about him offspring. Stop singing.
I'm missing out another word. We're not go no further. What that they are born in a house. They used to love the parents, so you find that they lost their way. I'm missing out another word. We're not go no further. You be the mother, you go
All you see is every other day. It's a strange time. And every baby's just war and crime. Really in a strange time. Oh, my child, don't show them a sign. Luciano, as far as I see.
And yes, we want to welcome you all back to the second half of Black Poet Matters, the poetic soundtrack for the times. And once again, during this National Poetry Month, we want to present to you all of these poets, and we also present to you the book, Black Poet Matters, a poetic anthology for the times, which is something that you'll be hearing all throughout this program from all of the poets who are performing this evening. So once again, we thank you for sticking with us. We ask that you would like our page on Facebook, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and also follow us on Instagram. So once again, we thank you all for sticking with us and joining with us as we begin the second half of our program this evening. And at this time, we're going to present to you Charles White, who lives in Rockford, Illinois, but was born and raised in New Orleans. He began performing poetry almost 30 years ago. He has won several poetry slams. In 2018, he won one of 6 prizes in the Rockford New Play Festival. He is married with 3 children. He is an English teacher at the Winnebago Juvenile Detention Center. And lastly, he has several degrees, all concentrated in education. And once again, you're all going to be educated this evening as we present to you Charles White.
Can you feel it? Nothing can save ya, but this is the season of catching the vapors. And since I got time, what I'm gonna do to tell you how they spread it throughout my crew. Well, you all know T.D. Swan, who sang on my records. Make the music nobody beats the biz, well check it. Back in the days before this began, he used to try to talk to this girl named Fran. The type of female with fly Gucci wear, with big truck jewelry and extensions in the hair. When Swan tried to kick it, she always fessed, talking about, nigga, please, you work for UPS. Since he wasn't no type of big drug dealer, my man T.D. Swan didn't appeal to her. But now he trucks gold to wear fly ballet boots, rough leather fashion and tough silk suits. Now she stopped fronting and wants to speak and be coming to all the shows every single weekend. To get his beeper number, she be begging, please.
Hello, thank you for joining us on another session of Black Poet Matters. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be able to share my craft with you over the past 2 years that we've been doing this. I'd appreciate it if you check out our book, Black Poet Matters, because we put that was released just about a year ago. So please, if you get a chance, please go on Amazon or go on any other site that sells books, and please pick it up. I think you will be quite impressed with the work that has been put in by the fabulous poets that are contained in that book, and also the ones that actually go live on here every month. Okay, this first piece I'm going to read is titled The Death of Roy Bryant, the Murderer of Emmett Till. Did death come to you with a question on his lips? Are you remorseful for slaughtering Emmett Till, a boy of 14, in the red dirt hills of Mississippi, not knowing that hate runs behind your small eyes like a cold stream? Did your wife whisper in your ear, "That nigga whistled at me"? Was your manhood pricked when your wife said, "What you gonna do, Roy?" Did anger begin to flow from your hands and cause your heart to skip, hungry for a jigaboo to kill? Pulling an Emmett offered an opportunity for you to feed the monster in your rotten soul. Death says, "Didn't he, Roy?" You knocked on a preacher's door and spit the devil at his feet when you demanded his nephew. Flashing unfeeling steel in his face, you rush in and take what you want, a little boy. But all you could see was a worthless nigger, a boy that made a deadly mistake in the pine forests of the Magnolia State. When Emmett's soul escaped this world in his pain, did remorse fill your corrupt spirit? Or did chest heave in gratification as you wiped his blood from your deadly hands? When the bullet burst from the barrel and pierced his scalp, did you drop a tear? Did you feel his fear? Death whispers in his ear. His body hit the river with a dull thud. Did you think, Roy, when that body disappeared in the water, as that worthless cotton gin fan pulled that sweet little boy under? Answer me, Roy, Death says. Roy says, hell no, I don't care. My trial was fair according to law. So take me, Death, because I'm damned in heaven and earth. Death looks him in the eye and raises a bony brow and says, I cast you down the pit of hell, the same hole in which the devil fell. You will never be free, not even when the end of days bell tolls. Thank you. The next piece I'm going to read is titled, A Blues Man Met a Reggae Queen. A blues man met a reggae queen. Deep in the blueness of his soul, he spotted her. She was wrapped in bright fabric, a Jamaican sunset. Eyes shimmered, a sandy beach in moonlight. Hair curls bounced with each step of well-formed hips. Clothes glided over her form like ocean waves. She quenched a deep thirst in the blues man. He fell into endless eyes, filled with soul guitar riff deep. Melodic sounds escaped coconut brown lips. Hums and bebops closed over the blues man. He imagined the warmness of her waiting arms. He called to her. She turned and caught a glance of his soft, pleading eyes. He swept his guitar from his back, asked her, please sit with me. Nestled in the sand, his fingers told stories through guitar strings, and together shared the blueness in their souls. Thank you. Second piece. The next piece is titled, A No Love Lost New Orleans Blues, which is about my hometown after it was decimated by Hurricane Katrina in 2005. A cry spread across the Gulf that New Orleans was gone, engulfed in a flood of water and despair. Lost to the winds of memory is my home, stripped and looted to the bone. Help came too late, predicted everyone's fate. The birthplace of the blues was now just that, filled with painful wails like guitar whips and screams like Delta blues. The no love lost New Orleans blues, a town whose love never had to choose. Boy, boy, what a city I did lose, singing the no love lost New Orleans blues. Entire families washed away in a single day. Nothing left but the clothes on their backs. Traditions going down the drain like rain. Pain filling veins while the flow of tears could not be tamed. The fact that everything was gone could not be changed. The no love lost New Orleans blues, a town whose love never had to choose. Boy, oh boy, what a city I did lose, singing the no love lost New Orleans blues. Fats cries out that he is walking to New Orleans. My soul wants to follow him there. To stroll the streets of my home is now a memory of what it was. Domino falls in my mind like rain, singing his song that he is walking home. But now it's filled with dead bodies. Now ain't that a shame? The no love lost New Orleans blues, a town whose love never had to choose. Boy, boy, what a city I did lose, singing the no love lost New Orleans blues. Stories drifted of survival of the great flood, tales that place hope in lost souls. A man pushed his truest love in a shopping cart. From a house stinking with infested waters, a young hustler found a truckload of starch and escaped certain fate. A man was pulled from putrid, filthy claws of death with hammer knocks and yells of salvation. The no love lost New Orleans blues, a town whose love never had to choose. Boy, boy, the city I did lose, singing the no love lost New Orleans blues. Katrina sucked the life from New Orleans like a transatlantic vampire, knocked over floats and scattered beads, covered mammary glands and killed red beans. Tore occasion draws from tongues, scattered the crescent city and rooted the true Big Easy in Midwestern towns and frigid northern cities. The no love lost New Orleans blues, a town whose love never had to choose. Boy, boy, what a city I did lose, singing the no love lost New Orleans blues. Promises have been pushed on political lips that New Orleans would rise like the phoenix from the fire. It would burn with children's laughter again. Crawfish balls and fish fries will scent the lower nine once more. Jazz will wind from clubs. Blues maestros will strum tunes and holler their pain from overflowing throats. We will survive, throw beads from floats, party till dawn because of Bend the River that once again have its crown, jewel, and charm. Thank you. And for my last piece, this is titled Blues. In the dark, dusty confines of a blues club sits a man in a faded fedora and a pinstripe suit. An acoustic guitar sits on his lap as he strums a tune. The old fingers lay on the strings like a lover. Sound waves carry oceans of memory. His pain is my pain, as my heart is slain by his remembrances of heartbreak. Ba-dub, I hear your pain. Ba-dub, but Lord, how much you have gained. Each day of breath adds to his quilt of life, made of patches and strains, things that he has seen and done. His verses are like films in the mind's universe. These lines make you search your own soul and examine the toils of the burdens you have taken. Makes you remember how many times you were mistaken love for lust and lies for trust. Ba-dub, I hear your pain. Ba-dub, but Lord, how much you have gained. The blues speaks in tones of pain and loss. Slave masters' whips on backs, echoing each hard strum of the guitar. It sinks into my soul and lives there. Ba-dub, I hear your pain. Ba-dub, but Lord, how much you have gained. It burns into my bones, echoing the songs of the great blues musicians, howling wolf in muddy waters. Wolf lies on the killing floor of his pain. Muddy is not a boy, but a managed boy. Announcing he is not a boy in a man's body, but just a man. Ba-dub, I hear your pain. but Lord, how much you have gained. Our history lays in each verse, as terse as a stretched rope. The songs bring hope into lives that have none. It holds the genes of African people. It reverberates across time. The blues is a book lay on the shelf of humanity. It beckons people to find it and open it and read the scribbles of men that still sit in the smoky bowels of a blues club and spits their pain and triumph in the history. Thank you. That was my last piece.
And yes, give it up for Charles White. And once again, as we are moving right along, we want you to meet performing artist, poetic activist, author, motivational speaker, and mother, who goes by the name of Empress Poetry. She is Barbados born and Brooklyn, New York bred. This culturally rich and diverse combo gives her a creatively edged color palette and a horizon-wide canvas. Empress Poetry cleverly weaves language and molds character through the power of the pen. Her signature performance poetry captures the delicate intricacies of life. And once again, we introduce to you Empress Poetry.
Daughter of Obatala, arise. Open your eyes and see your nightmares are only figments of others' fears, fixed in a fractured frame like a jigsaw puzzle to represent who they think you should be. See yourself as the quality, one-of-a-kind design by the divine, most high-grade, organically grown and potent, with healing properties and powers. Hold your Black girl magic wand above your head and bless your own crown. Stand in your place and know that you could never be erased or duplicated. Understand that you have been authenticated and certified as Mother Earth. First woman on the scene, Empress, Queen, this is your show. Headline like you know, you are a star. Oil to your Shango, you are Hercules Virgo, and you are never to lose your shine. Please keep this in mind. So never again will you walk naive to all that God is doing with and through you, for you know who you are. That's that piece. Okay, and my second piece is entitled, If Love Were a Flower. If love were a flower, it would be a rose, one that stands erect, that grows beautifully and abundantly in and out of season, armed to defend itself with thorns as its armor, soft as feather-formed petals, a soft aroma, leaves with sharp edges. If love were a flower, it would be a Venus flytrap, two hinged lobes like hearts attached at the ends, by a leaf, like a blade, growing inside and outside, each ready to devour when touched. If love were a flower, it would be a hibiscus, large and declaring like trumpets ranging in colors, from white to bright, beneficial to body, soul, and mind, beneficial to help all mankind fight bacteria like hate. If love were a flower, it would be a purple orchid, outstanding and with dignity, offering protection and opportunity for seeds to grow. Brilliant and bold, majestic, symbolizing admiration and respect, grace and elegance, brings balance, enthusiasm to saddened hearts. If love were a flower, it would be a Himalayan poppy. Enchanting blues, creating spectacular shows, weathered through sun and rain, successful despite growing pains, rich and subtle with charm and cheer, bright like diamonds, and oh, so rare, if love were a flower. And that's that piece. So I just want to say happy first anniversary to my fellow co-authors in the autobiography. We got a whole year in under the books, guys. Books, y'all got the pun? All right, let me move forward because I am not a comedian. I am indeed a poet. So my final piece is entitled Enough. My thoughts are stifled and my pen is constipated. I struggle to breathe as my arteries clog with the hate I need to dissipate before it becomes cancer. Searching for answers to questions still unasked. Courage being hidden behind my mask, there's anarchy in my mind. Because I believe I should be kind to all mankind, but I fail to accept this deal. How about how I feel? Turn the next cheek as blood leaks from my brother's chest. Give love because that's what's best, while I have to fight to be seen as more than worthy than death. Be better. I'm expected not to be bitter as I'm consistently being fed bile. I know I am a golden child, but where is mother? I know they took father to prove that they are greater, but mama, where is she? On her knees in the closet, making signs of a cross, and she pleads, Lord, we need delivery. It's slavery on repeat, but now they have us chained with Christianity and paganism. Tried to scare us with laws, their militia and nationalism. Making sacrifice on pentagrams while holding a Bible in efforts to keep their gain. Screw my pain. It equals their pleasure. I refuse to let them equate my work to lesser. Lesser than a dog, lesser than a cat, lesser than a gorilla, lesser than man. Training me with bullshit fairy tales, inciting me to think I can, while building walls and roadblocks to keep me from my destination, liberation. A dream some saw from mountaintops while being killed by cops and robbers at their door. Fuck your protests. I need revolution. Not that televised, organized pageant where we look like black sheep being led to slaughter. Nah, it's time to get militant and protect ourselves. It is time to get up and take our ancestors' recipes off the shelves and get spiritual. It is time to revisit blueprints and plans, become the seed that planters managed to plant. It's time to grow, act like we know there is power within us that causes them fear. It's time to tap in. This bullshit is enough. Am Empress Poetry. Thank you.
Yes, y'all, we're getting there. And I know you're enjoying everything that you've been hearing thus far. And now, we're coming down to the wire. Next up, we have Christopher D. Sims, who is a writer and performance artist, an essayist, and a Pan-African thought leader, combining the culture and the history of the African diaspora. He uses truth-telling and storytelling to get his messages across. Unapologetically pro-Black, his aim is to represent Black writing and performance art at the highest levels. He is a published writer and has professional studio releases to his credit. He is also the co-founder and co-producer of Black Poet Matters, a poetic soundtrack for the times. So once again, we introduce you, Christopher D. Sims, a.k.a. UniverSouLove. Once again, the co-founder and co-producer of this event right here.
I was a fiend, Before I became a teen, I melted microphones instead of cones of ice cream. Music orientated, so when hip-hop was originated, fitted like pieces of puzzles, complicated. Cause I grab the mic and try to say yes, y'all. They try to take it and say that I'm too small. Cool, cause I don't get upset. I kick a hole in the speaker, pull a plug, then I jet back to the lab without a mic to grab. So then I add all the rhymes I had, one after the other one. Then I make another one to diss the opposite, then ask if the brother's done. I get a craving like I fiend for nicotine, but I don't need a cigarette.
Alrighty,
know
peace.
what I mean?
Peace to the earths and the gods. Thank you all for joining us this evening. We really appreciate it. Definitely excited about the 1-year anniversary of our book here, which I'll be reading from this evening. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a beautiful blessing to have been rocking with the poets that are part of this compilation, this autobiography of our poetry, and the new poets who are rocking with us just the same that came afterwards. So we rock and roll on and on with Black Poet Matters. And the first piece that I'll be reading from the pieces that I have in this book, or some of the pieces that I have in this book, is Poetry That Gives Birth to Revolution. We need powerful, empowering poetry, poetry that promotes positivity, poetry that encourages people to progress, poetry that gives birth to revolution. We need poetry that puts on black berets, black dashikis, black pants, and black boots, poetry that rises around the oppressor to oppose their rendering racism, poetry that challenges and films the boys in blue, poetry that kicks butt when we sit back and say, hey, hey, get 'em poetry. Poetry that gives birth to revolution. Black folk need poetry that gangsters the grime in the ghetto, poetry that gathers gutless men, graceless women, and guiltless children to guide them back to greatness. Poetry that disintegrates crack and evaporates alcohol so that we don't continue to fall into destruction. Poetry that gives birth to revolution. This world needs poetry that puts it in to poverty, to starvation, to homelessness, to AIDS, to cancer, to dehumanization, to mass incarceration, to unjust detention, to criminalization of those who are seeking immigration, to death during migration, to the horrible border situation. Poetry, 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 poetry that gives birth to revolution. And that's that piece. And I want to say also happy National Poetry Month for sure, for sure, for sure. All the poets out there, all the poetry lovers out there, the poetry community. Happy National Poetry Month. I think I'll follow that piece up with this one. I'm going to go back in the book. Go backwards a little bit. Piece that I wrote just before, I think it was in the thick of the pandemic. It's hard to even say with so much is going on, but this is entitled, How Much is a Black Man's Life Worth? How much is a black man's life worth in the United States, especially when men can create at any time lies about who and what we are, who and what we are? How much is a black man's breath worth when even in the streets of his own neighborhood, of our own neighborhood, we are seen as being up to no good? Are we up to no good? How much does a black man's existence cost after his life is lost? Is his soul even worth the 10-minute segment on the national news after millions of us start singing the blues, singing the blues, singing the blues? How much is a black man's life worth? Dead in the street, lifeless, unconscious, defeated, deleted, executed by ruthless white men who can get away with anything they feel at will. How much is a black son's life worth when his mother arrives at the mortuary and the ancestors have called him back home, called him back home? How much more tragedy needs to be shown regarding the lives of black men before this madness comes to an end? When will this madness come to an end? How much are we worth to white allies, accomplices, justice groups, activists, and organizers when another fallen black male's name causes us more outrage and pain, outrage and pain, outrage and pain? How much is a dead black man's worth to the authorities who have failed to protect us, consistently neglect us, and have also stereotyped and profiled us? How much is a black man's life worth in the United States when this country's legacy is black death and black hate? Black death and hate. How much is a black man's life worth? This was written for Ahmaud Arbery. May he rest in deep peace. May he rest in deep peace. All right, y'all. I'm going to get to my final piece. Let's see here. Which one will I choose?
Wow.
Bear with me a sec here as I flip through these pages. Yeah, and once again, you can find this book on Hulu, our anthology, Black Poet Matters. Black Poet Matters, for sure, for sure, for sure. So let me see. You know what? I think I'll read the first piece that I have published in the book. It's called The Theology of Black Joy. And as a Black man amongst Black people, walking, living, breathing, and no matter where I am, whether it be Rockford, Illinois, or Boston, or New York, or wherever, I try to sustain or maintain Black joy. So this is how I see Black joy. Mama's cornbread, fried chicken, and spaghetti when I was growing up on the west side of Rockford, Illinois. The rhythms of 1980s rap music fused with episodes of Soul Train, Good Time, Soul Train, Good Times, Good Time, Soul Train. Black joy was on my mind all of the time. Times even when we were struggling, living in poverty. But Black and joyous is what I gotta be during these trying times. These trying times, I'm a Black b-boy majoring in Black joy, smiling at Black children who not yet understand this racist, this hectic, this crazy world we live in. Don't you see my Black joy? Don't you feel my Black joy? Do you know Black joy? I sing Black joy, I dance Black joy, I am Black joy. I am the song Marvin Gaye had yet to write. I am the song Nina Simone had not yet sung. I am the poem Maya Angelou was going to scribe. I am the Black joy keeping Black people alive. The Black joy keeping Black people alive. Black joy survives. Black joy thrives. Black joy has pride. Black joy never dies. Black joy walks Black children to school. Black joy helps keep Black men collected, calm, cool. Black joy is the sparkle in their eyes, our eyes of Black women. Black joy is ascension. Black joy will grab your attention when you least expect it. We have Black joy because to the motherland we are still connected. Black joy shines. Black joy is bright. Black joy is in these words that I recite. That's Black joy. Thank you, and that's my time. Appreciate y'all joining us. I know my brother Benjamin B and the whole crew does. Black Poet Matters. Find it on Lulu. Peace.
Once again, give it up for Christopher D. Sims, a.k.a. UniverSouLove. Once again, the co-founder, co-producer of Black Poet Matters. And we thank him for all that he has done, thus far, for the almost 2 years that we've been doing these events here on this channel and on this page. So once again, as we continue to move forward, we're going to introduce the last poet for the evening, and she goes by the name of Ruhama Bhattisrael, whose passion for expression started in February 2002 after requests to write a poem representing 5 generations of grandchildren for her grandmother. After being introduced to her true passion, Ruhama's thirst for expression spiked her appetite to share her vision of truth through vibrational, rhythmic, short stories of poetry. Ruhamah shared her poetry at various venues that offered artists a spotlight at spoken word events: the New Yorican, the Bowery Poetry Cafe, Lounge 13, and other locations. Since then, Ruhamah founded the company It's Real Productions and has published 6 books that are presently ready for purchase. And once again, as it is with her and all of the poets that perform this evening that have books, we invite all of you to go out there and purchase their books individually. And once again, we invite you to purchase the anthology of this collection of poets that you're hearing this evening, as well as many more. But once again, at this time, as we start to close out this show, give a warm welcome to Ruhama Bhattisrael.
getting back, but you knew I would. War is hell. When will it end? When will people start getting together again? Are things really getting better, like the newspaper said?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Ruhamah. I am so glad to be here with you. Oh, praise and glory to the Most High God, always. I'm here with other phenomenal poets, and what we are doing is our thing, which is poetry. And it's all done so graciously and, put out there to you in the raw, some of it. But we're also honoring Poetry Month and our book. It's our celebration, 1 year. It's called Black Poets Matter, a poetic anthology for the times. And it's 1 year, and we're so proud of it. And it's on Lulu, and we would like you to just go through the pages and help yourself quite a bit. You would really enjoy it. But I am doing a poem named Reunite Divided Nation. Okay. So here we go. How can we unite as one nation under God with little to no love in our hearts when to trust our brother is hard? How can we unite as sisters and brothers when we're jealous of one another, constantly scheming to rob, hurt, or kill each other? How can we proclaim to be the Most High's progeny when we portray ourselves lethargically and refuse to live in harmony? We can't continuously blame others for our regression, not after we've learned about abduction for labor and possession, because now that the truth of our Holocaustic history is processed, knowing that we were tormented and exploited for the productions of countries through the use of our expertise and physical assets, we need to eliminate the hate and stop living our lives oppressed. Evil is consuming us. We're living in duress. Negativity breeds illnesses ingested by long-term stress. Let's stop obsessing about the executioners who caused our mental illness and emotional unhappiness and submit it to the Most High God when we confess, because prayer cleanses the soul and it clears one vision. It rids one temple of distress. I must also confess that it is time to promote healing and growth. It's time to progress. It's time to love one another as one. That's our key to success. We must internalize to determine what true love entails. Learn to love the laws of the Most High God and ourselves, because we're contributing to making our lives unnecessarily hard by destroying everything, even the earth upon which we dwell. Love and perseverance are pertinent keys for our escape from this emotional and mental hell. They are also our major defense if we expect to prevail. Unfortunately, we've become accustomed to individualism, the one thing that weakens our very foundation. We must not continue to submit to this pent-up hate, anger, and frustration, even though our feelings are validated. But this injected poison was designed to keep us separated, and we keep ingesting it instead of regurgitating it. It is overdue time for restoration, spiritual stimulation, mental escalation, and financial liberation. It is time to heal and claim our destiny. We are the light for all other nations. How can we possibly reconnect to our divine God when in truth, loving one another is hard? How can we unite as one nation under God? Exercise Yah's love. Live one life. We must become one in accord. I thank you so much. And that particular poem is in this book under me, Ruhamah. Yes, called Reunite Divided Nation. My second poem is called Disguises. I was moved to write this poem regarding all the crimes in New York City, especially recently. We have a Black mayor there in Brooklyn. And it seemed to me, I said, wow, I don't know for sure, but it seemed like when we have a Black politician somewhere, it seemed like crime just get to an acute point, like it's like really crazy. And it made me wonder, is that truly all of us doing all of that killing of our own in our neighborhood? So I wrote this poem called Disguises. Identity theft. Crimes committed in Black communities. It's not us. Most times it's somebody else. Disguised for easy accessibility to destroy Black property, then convince the world that we are our own worst enemy. They wear Black faces to initiate racial violations. They wear Black faces to cause discord in peaceful demonstrations. They wear Black faces to infiltrate Black brotherhood organizations. In the meanwhile, they're conspiring to segregate the Black nations. They are wearing our Black faces to increase discrimination. They're wearing our Black faces to promote character defamation. They are wearing our Black faces, killing our Black people and our Black babies to ensure their brothers and sisters never desire integration. They are wearing our Black faces to make us hate ourselves more than we hate them. They are wearing our Black faces to search for ammunition to keep us condemned. They disguise themselves to conceal their pre-planned pandemonium, because when we start killing each other, martial law will be enforced, then we'll be outright murdered in the interim. They will continue to wear our Black face. They will continue to camouflage themselves to leave no traces, because we are governed by monsters from other races. So brothers and sisters, before making that irreversible move, without a doubt, you should know if you're vindicating yourself righteously or if the hood has been infiltrated by the system using young Black faces wearing white popo. Thank you. That's my second one. All right. My third poem. Okay, my third poem is called Proclamation. Okay. You claimed that you were proud to give me your name. You claimed that I was your happiness, and for me it was the same. You claimed that our love was like an eternal flame. Together we would give glory to God and share the miracles that gave him fame. Now that time has passed, my esteem is diminishing fast. I didn't know how long the novelty of our marriage would last, but it's changing so fast that the good memories are like a flash. We bicker over practically nothing. There's always a clash. I was moved by your intellect and honesty. I believed everything that you claimed, but I couldn't foresee the deep-rooted anger you hid from me, like those in the past who sought me out to control and maim. They stripped me of my identity, self-worth, and dignity, and you are mimicking them when you call me outside of my name. But unlike them, Your name calling torments me personally because you're my husband. You make me bow my head down in shame. I begin doubting myself by asking, how am I to blame? It makes me shrink. It makes me feel like a neglected, mangy dog that stinks. When our children hear you fussing, they become afraid and don't know what to think. They've noticed the distance between us because we're no longer in sync. Sometimes I pray that this situation goes away like an illusion when I blink. Emotionally, I'm dangling on a string near the brink. With your knowledge on abuse of women, how can you subject me to this unwarranted mistreatment? You've constantly stated that you would never demean me, yet your new name for me is bitch, and I resent it. You were always an exemplary husband until recent years, and I've done nothing wrong, but you're very angry, it appears. I'll continue to pray that the Most High return your happiness and in your pain. In my pain, my tears, and my fears, I pray that he gives me the strength to hold on until this phase of yours disappears. So, whatever is causing you to be upset and full of frustration, please get rid of it because it's reminding me of historical indoctrinations. Indoctrinations embedded to prevent us from uniting as a structured family and nation. Disrespect, arguments, and imbalance leads to separation. We didn't get married temporarily contemplating termination. You chose me as your queen, and I chose you as my king. And as long as you love and respect me, I will love and respect you. And that shall always be our proclamation. Thank you. That is my entire set.
Thank you, Queen. Always dropping that knowledge, that wisdom.
Tilda, thank you. Thank you. All right.
Yes, y'all. Give it up for Ruhamah. As a matter of fact, give it up for all of the poets who performed this evening. And once again, as we do at the end of every program, we give you that cypher, where we bring all of the poets who performed this evening back to that virtual stage, where they give you one line or just one thought as we end off this evening. And we're going to call it back in order. So once again, we do thank everybody for joining us this evening, and make sure you do subscribe to the YouTube channel for Bassment Entertainment. Make sure you like our page on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. But once again, we're going to give you that cypher as we bring the poets back to you once again. Starting off with Levan.
Every day to live is becoming more and more expensive, and to the ways of selfishness and fast illegal gratification and money, many of the children of humanity are becoming too more submissive.
And next up, all the way from the UK, via video, we have Eyes Awake.
My approval is love. My assurance is me. My soul is anchored. My heart indulged in directing those thoughts.
And once again, we bring back to the stage Burnett Coburn.
And this, my brothers and sisters, is called Waters of Revolution. It simply says, if you don't lie down in the rivers of action, the waters of revolution cannot, will never wash over you. Lie down and be invigorated. That's my wish for you this evening, my brothers and sisters. Be invigorated. And thank you for tuning in.
And next up, we have Ekanji Musa.
So when we consistently break Yah's laws, it's equated to spinning donuts near signs that say, caution, frequent rock slides. To risk breaking law is to risk your very life. My people, be wise.
And next, we have Charles White.
A cry spread across the Gulf that Nars was gone, engulfed in a flood of water and despair, lost to the winds of memory, is my home.
And also, we bring it back, Empress Poetry.
You are a star. Oya to your Shango, you are Hercules Virgo, and you are never to lose your shine. Please keep this in mind. So never again will you walk naive to all that God is doing with and through you, for you know who you are. End this violence against women, please. It's ridiculous. Am Empress Poetry.
We want to welcome back Christopher D. Sims, a.k.a. UniverSouLove.
All right, cypher continues. I sing Black Joy, I dance Black Joy, I am Black Joy. I am the song Marvin Gaye had yet to write. I am the song Nina Simone had yet to sing. I am the poem Maya Angelou had yet to scribe. I am the Black Joy keeping Black people alive, alive, alive.
And last, bring it back to the stage, Ruhama Bhattisrael.
Everyone has a story that needs to be told, and sometimes it's expressed through poetry, because poetry is love. Poetry is admiration, respect, and honor. Poetry is sensuous. Poetry is nurturing and sometimes downright hurtful. Poetry is truth and fulfillment. Poetry is life, and expressing it sets one free. Thank you.
Once again, give it up for all of the poets who performed this evening. And once again, as they have been saying all evening, make sure you get that anthology, Black Poet Battles, the Poetic Anthology for the Times. Once again, you can find it on lulu.com. Once again, support all of the artists who performed this evening as well, and get their books, support their books. All of them that perform, they have material out there. They have YouTube pages, they have Facebook pages. Once again, they have books on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles and various sites, as well as Lulu. So once again, support the poets individually and support them all collectively by getting that anthology. And once again, we'll see you next month. Once again, as we bring to you this monthly, virtual performance. And once again, we thank you all for joining us this evening. And we thank everybody that stayed with us. And we thank everybody for sharing. And once again, till next time, saying God bless as we end off with more music. So once again, thanking you all for joining us this evening.
To me, double trouble. I overhaul and I'm coming from the lower level. I'm taking tabs, show enough stuff to grab like shirts and it hurts with a neck to rep. Took a poll cause our soul took a toll from the education of a TV station. But look around, here go the sound of a record ball, boom and pound. When I shut them down, I shut them down. 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 Hey, piece of what? You can't mean P-E-A-C-E, cause I've seen people on the streets shoot the next man and turn around and say peace. But that's leaving people in pieces. It's not what the meaning of peace is. To me it means absence of all confusion, not the oozing and bruising that we're oh so accustomed to. Your friend got beat, I'll bust him too. What a brother from a certain way of life explained to me once. Dunce, he didn't realize the fact that he and myself were brothers on the same boat. Now last month he got hemmed up. That's all she wrote, so I could get up where she left the exclamation. Looking for an explanation.
message of the word peace has got to cease. Stop fronting, stop fronting, stop fronting, like you know what I'm saying. And on that note, I'll leave you with this.
Are amused by other brothers' reps, but the thing you know best is where the gun is kept. Cause in the night you'll feel fright, and at the sight of a 4/5, I guess you just might wanna do a dance or two. Cause he can maybe bust you for self or with a crew. No matter if you or your brother's a star, he could pop you in jet without a getaway car. And some might say that he's a dummy, but he's sticking you and taking all of your money. It's a daily operation. He might be loose in the park or lurking at the train station. Mad brothers know his name, so he thinks he got a little fame from the stick-up game. And while we're blaming society, he's at a party with his man. They got the eye and the gold chain that the next man's wearing. It looks big, but they ain't staring, just thinking of a way and when to get the brother. They'll be long gone before the kid recovers. And back around the way, he'll have the chain on his neck, claiming respect just to get a rap.
It'll make your nose grow like Pinocchio. Since I was only 15, I had to listen to what was said from a parent who's a Christian. I went to school and saw all my friends do it, but I said no, cause I ain't want my nose to grow. They started tripping on me, busting and flipping on me, so I had to front and say, yo, you slipping on me. I started smoking to prove I'm an adult. Now it's a habit, but is it all my fault? I wish my mother had told me the truth, cause now I'm all based out on dope.
Oh man, I like the way that's going down. Now what you do is kick a little flavor 35.
Everybody rise as I present to a jet black crowd what it's like to be black and proud in a world where white is right but not tonight. This is a black man's mic. I heard a sister say she don't like darker shades of black on a man cause that's whack, but to my life skin sister, can't you tell? You're just the surface of a dark deep well. And how could you prefer to be with those that sprayed you with guns and hoses and never put roses on the graves of the slaves that they treated like dirt after all that hard work?
Clap your hands to the beat, come on, just clap your hands to the beat, bring it out.
One of the biggest lies you hear from no one else is when a girl tries to say that she don't do it to herself. Always fantasizing but steadily denying. Last night she had to stop because her baby was crying. She do it on the phone all alone with a smile. Run the water, grab the shower cap and get buck wild. Some suds on the floor, ooh, how we sure? Give it to me, give it to me, give me a little more. I'm fiending, creaming, screaming, dreaming. What else? The girl's possessed by the bass and baby.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. Stand clear, done man attack. You can't stand where I stand, you can't walk where I walk. Watch out, we run New York. Policeman come, we bust them out the park. I know this for a fact. You don't like
ignorant. He's been trying to take me out since the days of my youth. He feared this day will come. I'm out on his trail, but sometimes he slips away because he has an army. They always give me trouble, mainly hatred, jealousy, and envy. They attack me. They think they got me, but I use my super science and I twist all three. I see sparks over that building. They're shooting at me. I dip, do a backflip, then I hit him in the heart with sharp steel bookmarks. Ignorance hates when I drop it, but no matter what he do, he can't stop the profit. Let's continue the saga, mad drama. I met this chick, she said she knew where ignorance was at. I said where? She said downtown. He had babies having babies, and young niggas selling crack. I think the bitch is lying, it's a setup, I can smell it, but ignorance is running rampant. Aight baby, show me the exact spot. Meet me at Hoyt and Skimmerhorn at 3 on the dot. So I hops up on the A train, I'm being followed. My 7th sense is danger. I turn around this anger, and he brought a marble on. It's the same old song. Despair and animosity got broke with the swiftness. I don't know what they think this is. I feel a sharp pain in my neck, now I can't see on my hair. They hit me with a dart filled with the pork chop serum. I tried to hold on, but before long I dropped. When I awoke, I was locked in the barber shop, trapped in the barber's chair. Oh no, they're gonna try and cut my hair, but that can't stop the profit.
An erection, I'm burning suckers, so wear protection. Now who's next when Ed's flexing? I'm the bread and you are just a crumb off. Jerking your Jimmy, but you still can't come off. I'm from Roxbury, the berry, but not the fruit, y'all. Don't make me act like where I come from, cause it's brutal. Hold my bone in a zone that's neutral. Soon to be large, the whole 9 yards, but I ain't suit, y'all. Suckers be swearing that their staring is gonna scare me. Look but don't touch, and if you do, be prepared, G, to go out. Just like your first day off punishment. The Bulldogs, Roxbury, and Boston is what I represent. The Black United Leaders living directly on grooving sounds. At first you didn't know us, but now it's like you put me down. We didn't get in there so you can get in with us. You wasn't down when we was riding the bus. So put on your Adidas and step off. I got to have it. No need for me to run away. Brother, put the gun away. You wanna take my life away as if we were in combat. You can buy some new Adidas, but you can't buy my life back. Hey yo, what's up with that? Why is it like that? Let's stand together, y'all, and fight that in a race. To replace waste with a taste, just in case you can't face the place that you've been put in. If you was my kid, for what you did, you have a foot in. Right in your ass. Another term's rectum. Kids are having kids, they're not parents, so they let them do things that shouldn't be done. You're not a father cause you got a son unless you're taking care of them. Crack is more contagious than rabies. Basehead broads are having basehead babies. Now how that sound? Not profound. Black people unite and let's all get down. I got to have it.